Hey guys, I'm Daisho and I'm here playing some Magic, and today I'm going to be running Guardians of Light. I feel like it should be Guardians of the Light, but then that would be a specific light, not just all light, and they are the Guardians of all light. So, never mind, I was wrong. It should be Guardians of Light, and for some reason that dude just did not feel like... I've never even known if it's the top or the bottom, like which one of those two are the games that have been out the longest, or is it just alphabetical and I haven't been paying attention? Who even knows? But hopefully iMetal is going to be a bro about it and he's going to ready up and start the game. No, it doesn't look like it. I don't know why people do this. Why do you sit around and just chill in a game? And God, it's so frustrating. Get out of my life. And the most annoying part is I can't just I guess it goes this way. I don't know. I can't just sit around in my own game because there's a billion other people who are just joining games and not getting started, and then it takes them a really long time to find my game. I don't know. But we finally did get a game. My opponent is on the play, and I'm not really a fan of this hand since I don't have a creature until turn 4. And there's plenty of creatures in this deck. Okay. This hand is okay, and I'm going to keep it. But it is a little bit risky. It's not that risky in that I do have a pacifism, so if my opponent gets off to a quick start, then I can just draw that land. But it does have the nut curve, which is just Core Spirit Dancer into Griffin Guide, and there's really not much that you can do that's better in this deck. So my opponent let off with a couple of planes. Tells me that he's probably playing a white deck, a mono white deck, but I don't know which one. Hopefully... Actually, I don't even know which one I hope it is, because both of them have a decent amount of removal. This one with a whole bunch of pacifisms, the other one with some paths and some Oblivion Rings and Fiend Hunters. But he's not doing anything. So I am just going to take the bait and toss this Griffin Guide right on it. He's got a Path to Exile, he's got one, but at least I do get to draw the card anyway. And he doesn't have anything, so I get to punch him in the face for 4. That is pretty sweet. Next turn I do have a couple of options. I could play a Daybreak Coronet on it and then add another 5 power, but I think I would rather... Yeah, okay, so he does have a pacifism, but the good thing about this is I do gain the advantage of this card, and I get to draw a spell. I get to draw a card. Draw a card. There we go, Daisho. We can talk now. Draw a card every time I play an enchantment. So next turn I can play a couple of enchantments on either of my creatures, and I still have a pacifism, so when he gets something crazy, ridiculously powerful out, then I can get rid of that. So if he gets a Core Spirit Dancer of his own out, but he seems to have just quit out. So yeah, that's interesting, to say the least. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play a Spirit Mantle on my Lifelink guy. No, I should have put it on this thing, damn. Alright. Mesa Enchantress. And then put a Daybreak Coronet on it. And draw some cards. Pariah. Not a bad card indeed. And one thing that I can do in this situation, I don't have to do it, but and I won't because there's no real reason to anytime soon, but I can put a Pariah on my Core Spirit Dancer. It'll bump it up to a... he's just going to Divine Favor one of my creatures? What? So if that's not proof that the AI doesn't cheat, then I don't know what is. I don't know why he wouldn't just pacify my creature if he could just change any of his cards or draw whatever card he needed, but... alright, so now we can not actually win the game this turn. But what I can do is play that thing and play Lifelink and draw a couple of cards. But yeah, he would have just drawn pacifism at the perfect time if that was the case, if that were the case. But anyway, what you can do with Pariah is you can just toss it on your Core Spirit Dancer, bump it up, and then it'll be really hard for them to deal any damage to you because they have to do like 10 in a turn if they want to do anything. Or just remove your Core Spirit Dancer. So that's why you don't always want to do it, because if they just have removal for your Spirit Dancer, then you're in pretty bad shape. But I don't know what kind of hand my opponent kept that he wasn't able to cast a spell on 4 mana. That just seems utterly absurd. But hopefully the next game will be a little bit better, and my opponents won't make as foolish keeps. But I mean, I did have the dream curve, so I mean, I guess he kept the pacifism. Maybe he was really hoping to draw into a creature and he just didn't. There we go. We got some justification in there for why he might have kept that hand. But what kind of cards does he have in his deck? If he had 7 cards in hand, maybe they were just all auras? Like an entirely aura hand? 7 cards? That's a lot of cards. Maybe he had like a 5-drop and a 6-drop and 4 auras or something like that. That could be. I could definitely see that as a possibility and like a reasonable hand. And since he's got pacifism and maybe he just didn't draw any lands. Alright, this hand is fine, but it's definitely not great. Because I'm keeping it because I have some potential plus removal. So I have a Sajani Sunstriker, Pacifism, Mesa Enchantress, and Dawn Elemental is just a really powerful card against any situation. And I do have a Pacifism, so no matter what he does early on, it's probably not going to be that big of a deal. Alright, so thank the gods, all of them, all 7 of them, that he did not play Champion of the Parish. And when that deck starts out with Doom Traveler instead of Champion of the Parish, it is so much less impressive. But still, I have some pressure on me early, and if he plays a 2-drop here, then that could spell some trouble for me, especially if it's Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. I like saying the full names of legendary creatures. I don't know why, but alright. This thing is not as big of a deal unless he's got an Honor the Pure in hand, in which case that is a terribly big deal, and I am actually going to be under a lot of pressure very early. But I do have a decent way to mitigate that in terms of my Johnny's Sunstriker. And now I drew a Johnny's Chosen, which is one of the, now that I think about it, one of the better cards that you can draw in this matchup. If I can actually survive till turn 4 or 5, then I can start playing Pacifisms, drawing cards, getting 2/2s for free, and that would be pretty nice. But if he does have some removal for it, then it's not great. And there's a lot of removal in that deck. So he does have the Honor the Pure, which is kind of unfortunate. He's going to be able to hit me for 6 down to 13, but I can swing back for 2, bringing me back up to 15. Alright, he's just going to swing with 1. There's no problem right there for me, but it could mean that my opponent's got a... Actually, maybe I shouldn't have played that. No, that was good. Maybe that could mean that my opponent's got a Gold Knight Commander waiting in the wings. I find that when people don't attack, it's not always that they're being bad. It's sometimes that, with this deck especially, that they have a Gold Knight Commander or something that will really benefit from having more things out. So instead of a Gold Knight Commander, he just had another Honor the Pure, which is pretty bad for me. So hopefully I can get... Alright, so he's just gonna charge on in there. Hit me for 9 damage, take me down to 8. And now I am in a little bit of a sticky situation. I'm going to immediately pacify his Doom Traveler. Hopefully draw a land here. Thank you. And now I have some options. I don't think I want to... Actually, let's bring this guy back. And just play our second Sunstriker out. And that way, if he does attack with both of his humans next turn, then I can double block one of them and just trade 1 for 1. But he's drawing his lands, which could be pretty bad for me. He did miss the 3rd turn one, so I know that these 3 cards are all spells, unless he severely messed up. Alright, so he's got a Mikaeus. That's very bad for me, because that means that he can pump his creatures even further. Well, that's actually pretty funny. He can take his Mikaeus all the way down to 0. So hopefully he just sends in with that 1 dude. That'd be pretty nuts. Even with 2 is fine. I'm very, very happy to make this trade-off. And now he's basically got 1 creature that can really attack me. In just this 3/3 human. I gain 4. Oh, but I lose 1. I lose 3 from that. All right, so two options here. Gonna go with the Johnny's Chosen, because then next turn there's a good chance. Actually, next turn I'll probably play Core Spirit Dancer into Pacifism. But I have another Johnny Sunstriker to just throw under the bus if my opponent tries to attack me or something. Oh god, Geist Honored Monk. Okay, well, this is getting harder and harder to win this game, but somehow I think that it is still within reach, especially if I draw a land next turn. This is my draw step. But it is definitely looking pretty scary here. So he didn't even send with the 4/4. Okay, so I didn't draw a land, but I drew a Pacifism. So we're gonna play it on his Geistheimer Monk, and we're gonna draw a card, get a wolf, Core Spirit Dancer. Damn. Ooh, would I like? I would like to leave the aura where it is, please. I'm just losing so much value by casting these pacifisms this turn instead of after playing the Core Spirit Dancers. But I would love to draw a card. Alright, well I did draw another pacifism. And again, I'm going to choose to leave the aura where it is. And now that I think about it, I probably made a mistake in pacifying the Geist Honored Monk as opposed to both spirit tokens, because now he can hit me in the air for a bunch. But next turn, I should be able to come back. He's got a Fiend Hunter, but he doesn't really have an amazing target. It's probably going to be this Ajani's Chosen. And I guess that's a really good target now that I think about it, because I was basically banking on having unlimited chump blockers. Path to Exile, alright, on my Sunstriker. Okay, I'll go grab a land. And he can, alright, he can't do too much. I guess he did that so that I couldn't like triple block his human and kill it. But man, I think I actually drew every single pacifism in this deck. Alright, so he's going to bring obviously the flyer and also the human, which I'm just going to throw my little cat here under the bus. And alright, so we got another land. I'm gonna play both of these Spirit Dancers out and then pacify the flyer. And draw 3 cards. Hopefully my draw engine will be good enough here to stabilize me. And man, okay, so we didn't draw any more auras, which is not where we wanted to be. And I really needed to draw an aura there. But at least, I mean, I still have this Dawn Elemental, which, I don't know, I feel like I should have played out forever ago. He's at 0 cards in hand. He can hit me with 3 grounded creatures here. And I'm going to have to chump block them, unfortunately. But I can take... Okay, so he's not even going to attack with that thing. So I only have to chump block 2 right here. And then next turn, I can play out my Dawn Elemental, who can block everything. Anything and everything. So obviously I'm just going to throw this guy and this guy under the bus. And then an aura draw is really good here. There may say Enchantress. Not quite so good. So we're going to play this one out. And then we have an awkward amount of mana. But we're just going to play this Sky Hunter Skirmisher. In case we draw a Ascension thing. What's that thing called? Actually, maybe I should have... Actually, I'll just chump block with the Spirit Dancer. Armored Ascension, maybe? Like, if we draw Armored Ascension, how many lands do we have? We have 8 lands. There's... Oh, he's putting a counter on it. Okay, we have 8 lands, so we actually just win the game next turn if we draw an Armored Ascension. So, because that is the case, I will throw this thing and this thing under the bus. The unstoppable bus of ultimate destruction. Alright, and we drew planes. So we're going to play everything we've got out, and we're going to keep having to chump block one thing a turn, but we get to finally attack enter our combat step, get in there with a Skyhunter Skirmisher. And we have to hope that our opponent keeps drawing lands and that we start drawing some spells. We've already drawn 8 more cards, than, or I guess 7 because he Path to Exiled one of our things. Alright, Elgon Inquisitor. Normally that wouldn't be a big deal, but in this situation, when I am at such a low life total, and all of my opponent's creatures are kind of gigantic, that is sort of a big deal. But again, we're completely live to drawing Armored Ascension, and we win the game on the spot. And it's not even that unlikely that we draw it, because all I need to do is draw a land, or not a land, an aura, and then I get to draw 2 more cards. Or we can just draw a random creature, and now we're not quite as live, I don't think. Drawing random creature was the worst thing to draw because that gives him another turn. Oh wait, no, I can block this thing. Alright, sweet. So I can block this thing with my Dawn Elemental, and he's gonna play a Requiem Angel. Oh god. That is bad. So now my chances are looking a little bit more grim. That Mikaeus the Lunarch is doing some work here. Alright, so we're going to throw this thing here, this guy here, and we unfortunately have to jump block again. And I see little way out of this other than some very lucky draws. Oh my god. Did we do it? I think we did it. Oh god. Combos? So that is, I believe, an infinite combo. So the only way that my opponent can win is if he draws some removal for this thing. Alright, so gonna put this on the double strike, bro, and hopefully we can draw some protection from creatures spells. But until then, I cannot attack. Alright, let's just play this land out because we do get to draw a lot of cards, so this is just absolutely outstanding. Gather the Townsfolk doesn't do anything. Oh my god, he's gonna... There are so many removal spells in that deck that he is bound to draw one very quickly, and I just hope that I draw the cards that I need before he draws the cards that he needs. Alright, so he's being a complete poopy head, and he's attacking with his Requiem Angel, and I am just going to kill it. No, I cannot kill it, because if I throw this thing in front of something, then it will die. But, so I'm just going to block here, but I'm pretty sure that he can't do anything to me. Yep. I am entering invincible mode. And I'm expecting to get a little chat here, just say, why didn't you die? I don't understand. Alright, so, come on. If he's stupid again, then we win. Oh man, this is intense. He drew another land! Oh god, he hasn't even drawn that many lands this game, now that I think about it. But then again, I've drawn a decent mix of spells and lands. Probably a little bit, probably about even actually of what I should draw, maybe a little bit heavier on spells. Because he's got 4 pacifisms on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh my god, my opponent just gave me the game. He just, literally, he said, Daisho, you're a better man than me. I will concede to you. That's what he just said. It is exactly what he just said by attacking with this angel. And I really appreciate that. I mean, it's just very nice of you to surrender to me. I know that I am a nice guy and I kind of deserve the win here, but I really appreciate you giving it to me. So, wow. That was an intense game, and I